Swimming is absolutely, positively one of the best forms of exercise that you can do from cradle to grave. Now, swimming is really difficult because the water is 800 times more dense than air. So in this video, I want to share with you 5 key points that are going to help you improve your endurance in swimming. This is so important. We love swimming because it is such a great aerobic activity, but I want to share with you a few different tips. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share some secrets that I use to maintain and improve my endurance while only swimming a few times a week. And for me, I only swim 1,500 to 2,000 meters in a session. So if you want to learn those secrets, make sure you watch the video until the very end, and let's hear those 5 tips to improve your endurance. Let's dive in. Tip number 1 is to improve your technique. Now, I already mentioned that water is 800 times more dense than air. So here on the whiteboard, let's break that down for you. I know you want to improve your endurance, and you might be thinking, well, I just want to improve my cardiovascular fitness. So what does technique have to do with that? If I'm swimming really inefficiently, that means I'm going to get a better workout, right? Wrong. The reality is you actually want to improve your technique so that you can improve your body position to leverage your own mechanics as much as possible. So what I'm trying to say is that if you swim with poor technique and you're moving through the water inefficiently, yes, you're going to be working harder, but because you're working harder, you're not actually maximizing your own stroke's potential, and that's going to allow you to improve your endurance in the long run. So for example, if you swim 25s or 50s and you can't swim any further than that because your technique is so inefficient, that basically means you're not able to improve your endurance to your full potential because you're limited by your stroke's inefficiencies. And that's why technique is so important to master. And one way that you can actually master your technique is by counting your strokes, especially as you fatigue. So it's really easy to have a really low stroke count when you feel fresh, when you first start a swim workout, but you want to pay attention to how many strokes you take over the course of a workout from the beginning, middle, and end, especially as you fatigue, and see how that number starts to creep up. Now, if you're a really good swimmer, you have really good endurance and really good capacity in the water, you're going to be able to maintain a relatively low stroke count all the way through the workout. So that's one key tip that you can really measure your endurance beyond just how you feel and what your heart rate is, which we'll talk about, but you can just count how many strokes you take, and that's a really good measure of how technically efficient you are. And the second way that you can improve your endurance is by mixing up your strokes. Now, you might be thinking, well, I really just want to train for a triathlon, or my best event is the 200 freestyle, so why do I want to swim anything other than freestyle? I really want to focus on freestyle. Now, I understand that freestyle is the most efficient way to move through the water. That is front crawl for all my technical peeps out there. But beyond front crawl, the other strokes will actually teach your body how to grab the water in different ways. So when you swim a breaststroke, pull, or butterfly, or backstroke, your body position is different, your timing is different. Certainly, you're pulling water in a similar way in that you're trying to move yourself forward. However, when you swim the different strokes, you're actually teaching your body in different ways, and this variation in strokes develops a stronger feel of the water. And the stronger the feel of your water, the better your technique is, the more endurance and capacity you're going to have in the water for whatever your end goal is. So if your goal is to swim fast in a 200 freestyle or a 1,500 freestyle or open water, who knows why you're swimming, if you want to get better at endurance, mix up the strokes. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't like doing any of the other strokes. Start with backstroke, start with breaststroke, start with kick, start with anything that you can do and gradually build up. Most of your workout can remain in freestyle, but if you just sprinkle in a little bit of backstroke or breaststroke at the end of the workout, maybe in the preset, if you follow a workout in the MySwimPro app, we're automatically going to recommend some 25s or 50s IM in the structured workout for you. But make sure you have every single stroke count, and this stroke variety will actually help prevent training plateau. So if you're only doing freestyle and you're only doing freestyle sets, it's really difficult to continue to advance over a long period of time. Now, some of my pro tips that I'm going to share at the end that I use personally, this is actually one of those. It's that you don't want to have this plateau, this over fatigue and boredom. So when you mix up different variety of strokes and you have technique incorporated, and again, it doesn't have to be breaststroke or backstroke or butterfly. This can be kick. This can also be the next tip, which is equipment. So if you train with equipment, you can actually improve your endurance even faster. So it's certainly great to have awesome technique, mix up the strokes. But another way that you can add that variation and muscle confusion is with equipment. So when you incorporate equipment, you're going to get this variation in muscle engagement, and you can also have training variety, and it's going to give you mental stimulation. That's actually one of my favorite parts about swimming, is that you can just mix it up in so many different ways. I have a set here on the board, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, but there's so many different ways that you can do the same workout. I might tell you to do 3 100 freestyles, and that could be done in so many different ways, from effort levels, equipment usage, how much rest you're getting, how much breathing you're doing. We'll talk about some of this stuff later, and I know I talk about it here on the channel, but just having this equipment variety is huge, and it also allows you to train longer. So if you're a fan of training with fins or any other piece of equipment, that can actually improve the amount of time that you're swimming. So for example, you can only swim 1,000 meters or 2,000 meters without any equipment because your body just starts to fall apart, your shoulders start to hurt. But you throw some fins on and now all of a sudden you can swim that much longer, and that's a huge reason why it's great to train with equipment. Of course, my general rule of thumb is no more than 50% of your weekly training volume with equipment. So if you swim 10,000 meters in a week, try and keep 5,000 of that or less with equipment. Sometimes you'll go over, sometimes it'll be less. Just a fun rule of thumb. Now, another piece of equipment that you gotta keep in mind is today's video sponsor, and that's Nike Swim. Check out how sweet I look rocking my Nike swim gear. So Nike Swim has suits, caps, goggles, and fins for training and for competition. You know Nike for their amazing running shoes and sports gear, and their swimsuits are just as high quality with tons of options for every type of swimmer. Nike Swim's Hydra Strong fabric is designed for long hours in the pool, and it can stand up to intense competition. The suits are quick drying and fade resistant, so your favorite suits will last longer even after hundreds of hours in the chlorinated or sea water. They've got tons of great styles in a bunch of different colors and prints to choose from, so you can stand out at the pool. Now, I've been loving the Nike Swim Vapor Mirror goggles, and they're super comfortable, they're low profile to reduce drag, and you look like a boss. So if you're ready to upgrade your swim gear, you've got to check out Nike Swim. Grab a suit, some swim caps, goggles, fins, and any other gear all in one place. Make sure you give Nike Swim a follow on Instagram at Nike Swim to see their latest styles and be inspired to swim faster. Head over to the link in the description below to shop Nike Swim, and thanks again for sponsoring this video. A great way to improve your endurance is swimming is by varying your intensity through effort levels. Now, we have 7 different effort levels here on the whiteboard, from easy, moderate, endurance, threshold, best average, race pace, and sprint. And by varying your intensity and your effort level, you can actually have an amazing variation in your swim training that will develop more endurance over time. So for example, easy, moderate, endurance, and threshold are all in the aerobic effort and energy zones. Then you have anaerobic, which is best average, race pace, and sprint. Now, if you're wondering how to improve your endurance in swimming, you want to keep your heart rate between 70 and 80% of your max over an extended period of time. Now, that can feel pretty difficult, and that's what we call threshold or short rest sets. So if you want to figure out what that means, all you have to do is take 220, subtract your age, and then multiply that by 0.7, and that's the heart rate zone you're looking to be in. So for example, if you're a 20-year-old athlete, 220 minus 20 is 200. We multiply that by 70%, and that's about 140 beats per minute. Now, if you're training with a smartwatch like the Apple Watch or a Garmin, with the MySwimPro app, you can actually see what your heart rate is over the course of the workout and in between specific sets. So you can see where you're at in terms of your heart rate, and you'll know if you're in that aerobic zone or if you're pushing into these sprint zones over here. And I have a workout right here behind me, which I'm going to go over in just a little bit, and you'll see all the variation. That variation is so important to take your swimming to the next level if you want to swim faster and smarter than ever before, and also improve your swimming endurance. Now let's move on to the final tip here, and that is to moderate your rest and breathing pattern. And when I'm talking about rest, what I really mean is the rest that you take between sets, between set groups, between workouts, and also how much breathing you're doing within the actual set and the repetitions of those sets. So here's an example of that. Let's say you do a MySwimPro workout, you've got it loaded up on your Apple Watch and you're ready to go. and you're focusing on speed. So maybe you'll want a little bit more rest between the sets and between set groups. By default, the MySwimPro app has 30 seconds of rest between each individual set, and then 60 seconds between set groups. If you're trying to improve your endurance, you might want to actually throttle that down, which you can do in the MySwimPro app settings. So if you want to do that, you can actually make the rest between sets a little bit lower. So instead of 30 seconds, maybe you make it 10 or 15 seconds. That'll build your endurance and your capacity because you're going to do more swimming density, meaning more swimming in a shorter period of time. You're not going to change the interval on the set. So an example is 650s freestyle could be on the minute or the 50. We're not going to change that. We're just going to reduce the amount of rest between the two sets. And then the interval default between set groups is 60 seconds. So instead of 60 seconds, let's make that 30 seconds. So you can condense the overall workout and keep the integrity of everything the same, but by condensing it, the density is going to go up, meaning you're going to swim the same amount in less time. You can chop off 5 to 10 minutes easily off of a set, and by fitting more swimming into less time, while maintaining the integrity of each set, you can actually improve your endurance pretty darn fast. Another way that you can vary this is by how much you're breathing. So whether it's doing a set in the beginning of the workout or in the cool down, paying attention to how many times you're breathing, whether it's every 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the set calls for. These are some great tips to incorporate into your sets, into your workouts, so that way you can improve your endurance in swimming. Now, I did promise a few pro tips from my personal experience as an athlete at the age of 31 as of the recording of this video. Here are 3 of my pro tips, and I've been able to maintain my endurance over the last 10 or 15 years, only swimming 3, 4, maybe 5 times per week, on average less than 10,000 meters per week. Now, number 1 is to have a consistent routine. So even though I'm not swimming that much, I'm able to maintain a really high level of endurance just because I'm so consistent. So if I'm not swimming, I'm doing some other workout. I might be lifting weights 3 or 4 times per week. I'm swimming 3 or 4 times per week. And even when I'm doing my weight workouts, what I just talked about in terms of density and having a certain amount of work in a certain amount of time, I try and follow that methodology, not only in the pool, but out of the water as well. So by being consistent and having a variety of workouts pretty much every single day is going to help develop your capacity, and it takes time. So if you do this for 2 weeks, you're probably not going to see that much endurance results, but if you do it for 2 months, 2 years, or 20 years, you're going to start to see a lot of aerobic capacity develop. If you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love what happens to your body when you swim. I'll catch you guys at that video, and happy swimming.